exciting. It's one of them. All right, let's do In the Garden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We like to begin with a song. This is an old hymn that I loved as a child, and it seems appropriate for today. This is my Father's world. Play it through one time. 1, 2, 3.
Well, good morning and happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there and those that have taken on the father role. My name is Rhonda Cooley. I'm your celebration assistant today, and I want to welcome everybody. Everybody here is welcome, no matter what your race, religion, creed, sexual orientation, gender identity. We welcome everyone here. Just want to give you also a reminder to turn off your cell phones so that there aren't any interruptions throughout the service. And welcome to the online viewers and anybody here for the first time and maybe second, third, and fourth time. And a big welcome to Barry Jones, who will be doing our talk, and 3 of his children are here today. That would be Lillian, who has played here many times before, and Arden, number 3, and Callaway, number 4. Okay, Henry's in Colorado. He's number 2. So, welcome, and let's stand and sing our gathering song, shall we? Also, it's summer solstice, so welcome summer! Yay!
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Yeah. And so now, our own Buddy Lepers will do our opening prayer.
Good morning. Hi. All right, let's just settle into our seats and just feel connected, not only with that chair that we are sitting in, but also to the earth below, our Mother Earth. And let's take a deep breath and just feel the love that is being generated by all who are here and all who are online. And we feel that love radiating out into the world, bringing joy and peace and happiness to all whom it touches. For we are all one. There is no separation in time or space between us and our Creator, by whatever name you wish to call it. We give thanks for this opportunity to be together. We give thanks for Barry Jones, who will be our speaker this morning. We give thanks to all who have helped make this service possible today. And on this day, proclaimed Father's Day, we take the opportunity to bring to mind all of the influences that our earthly fathers have had on who we are, the way they affected our lives, and we give thanks for these remembrances. But we also honor our divine Father, the creator of all. For it is that energy which gave us the gift of free will so that we can make independent decisions on how to lead our lives and do those things and take those opportunities which are presented in accordance with how we would have our lives move and have meaning. And that fatherly love energy is, as a good father would have it be, always available to uplift and support any challenges that come into our lives, any stresses related to health concerns or interactions with others, thoughts of not being good enough, thoughts of lack, anything of a negative nature. Jesus and all of the spiritual masters over time have counseled that power, that energy, that fatherly love is available to us. And all we need to do is ask to bring to mind that which we would like to have and be. And guidance and correction will come. So that we're able to live the life of joy and happiness, kindness, compassion, health and healing, which is our divine right, our divine birthright. We know that this is the truth. And we give thanks. Thank you, loving, comforting Father God. And so it is. In the name and after the nature of the Christ Spirit within. So it is, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, buddy. So let us conclude our opening prayer with our mission statement. Together, Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity making a positive difference in the world, and our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Oh, no, I sing now. Wrong song. What do I know? I'm just the music director. So I don't know how many of you had experience like mine growing up, but my family always had old cars. And I have very fond memories of learning to drive. My dad bought an old international travel all. It had 3 bench seats because we had a big family. And okay. Sorry, I was preparing for the other song. So I'm talking.
This is an old Chinese song called Tuning.
All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's painted red, the stripe was white. It was 18 feet from bow to stern light. Second hand from a dealer in Atlanta. I rode up with Daddy when he went there to get her. He put on a shine, put on a motor. It was built out of love and made for water. We ran her for years till the transom got rotten. A piece of my childhood will never be forgotten. It was just an old plywood boat, a 75 Johnson with electric choke. A young girl, 2 hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel. And I would turn her sharp, I would let her whine. He'd say, you can't beat the way an old wood boat drives. Just a little leg across the Bedford County line, but I was a captain on the ocean when Daddy let me drive. Just an old half-ton short bed Ford my uncle bought new in 1964. Daddy got it right, 'cause the engine was smoking, a couple of burnt valves, and he had it going. He let me drive her when we'd haul off a load down a dirt strip where we dumped trash off a Thig Pen road. I'd sit up in the seat and stretch my feet out to the pedals, smiling like a hero who just received a medal. It was just an old hand-me-down Ford with 3-speed on the column and a dent in the door. A young girl, 2 hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel. And I would press that clutch, I would keep it right. He'd say, a little slower, hun, you're doing just fine. Just a dirt road with weeds on each side. But I was Danica Patrick when Daddy let me drive. Well, I'm growed up now, I got boys and girls of my own. We let them drive my old Jeep across the pasture at our home. Maybe one day they'll reach back in their file and pull out that memory and think of us and smile and say, it was just an old worn out Jeep with rusty old floorboards hot on my feet. A young kid, 2 hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel. And he'd say, turn it left and steer it right. Straighten up now, you're doing just fine. Just a little valley by the river where we'd ride. But I was high on a mountain when Daddy let me drive. Oh, he let me drive. When Daddy let me drive. Well, it was just an old plywood boat with a 75 Johnson and electric choke. Thank you.
So true. Every time I pull into a parking space, I hear my dad. Every single time. He's with me. Well, we have a special guest today. Many of you know Barry Jones. He's the husband of Blair, and he has participated in our Christmas Eve services as one of the speakers for many years, I think from the beginning, so for a long time. Barry has 4 children and 4 grandchildren, so he is qualified today to speak about fathers. So let's give a warm welcome to Barry Jones. Yay, Barry.
I got you. Well, good morning. I have a microphone, dear. Thank you for the introduction, buddy. Thank you for the prayer. I'm very pleased to be here. This is my first experience giving a talk in a moment of worship, and so it'll be a little adventure for me. Our topic is fathers. I'd like to start by getting a sense of the room. Each absolutely perfect father in here, please raise your hand. Okay, only 2, and they were kidding, so we're going to skip the material I have on perfect fathers, and we're going to talk about imperfect fathers. Imperfections are important in a parent. They give the children something to push back against and rebel against as they begin to form their own personalities. So you might hear a child saying, when I get to be an adult, I'm not going to scream at the umpires at the t-ball game like that. I have qualifications for giving this message. Not only do I have, thanks to the incomparable and beautiful Blair, 4 excellent children, but also I have my share of imperfections. Time limits and the dress code will limit the amount we'll talk about them, but trust me, they're there. I can speak imperfect father as well as anybody else. My message in the message is that fathers lack definition. At least they lack definition compared to mothers. Take the verb forms, to mother and to father. So if I say to you, I felt so mothered, you think, I felt so comforted and listened to and understood. There might be soup involved, or maybe pies or cakes. But if I say to you, I felt so fathered, your emotional response might be, I acknowledge that at some unknowable dark time in the past, there must have been the contribution of genetic material that made me do what I just did. There are biological reasons for this lack of definition. Consider the pre-game events. The mother-to-be gets some strong, frequent reminders of the coming parenthood. From what I've been told, alien forces take over her body, changes occur. She feels some heaviness, then constant discomfort, a loosening of joints, and finally, a whole lot of pain. On the other hand, the father-to-be may not even know he is a father-to-be. Or he may know it and remain as clueless as if he did not. He may learn it and find he forgets about it as he goes through his daily routine just as he did before. Fathers-to-be lack the physical reminders that could possibly save them from being so oblivious. True, many fathers-to-be are filled with wonder. They wonder, what's this going to do to Wednesday night bowling? They wonder if they should have a 3-car garage, because children are going to want to drive cars eventually. When Blair was pregnant the first time, I built a closet in our apartment. Maybe the baby was coming with a lot of clothes. I don't know. I have known many fathers-to-be who lack the confidence that they'll be good fathers. They turn and seek the wise counsel of their more experienced peers. Hanging out with a buddy, a guy might casually slip into a conversation. So it looks like we're going to have a kid. Hey, that's great news. I don't know, man. It seems complicated. Don't worry. I did it. It's all good. Okay, thanks. How about them who's? To get ready for Lillian, we took a weekly class. We sat on the floor with a dozen other adults and we talked about birthing and breathing. One time we passed around this soft bundle someone had knitted that represented a uterus. I took my turn with it seriously. I did not know exactly how that was going to help me be a good father, but I figured it couldn't hurt. My role was so undefined, anything might help. Then the birth comes, and with it, baby boot camp. That's where you get a tiny drill sergeant who, in shrill and insistent tones, instructs you when you will sleep, sit, walk, rock, eat, work in the mess hall, and clean out the latrine. Here again, the mother has a biologically defined role. She has something the sergeant wants and needs. The father doesn't. Over time, he can learn to step up with his own nutritional contributions, and some of them do it very well, but he starts out behind the curve. So fathers need help, and I think we can help them by giving them a definition. First, he shows up. Like other volunteer work, if you show up, you're better than a lot of other people and you're off to a good start. Show up in person. If that is really impossible, there are all kinds of devices that can beam you in, but they can't give hugs. So in person is the way to go. Present, as in truly present, not on the phone or in the ozone. Our old friend Newbie every now and then would refer to someone she thought was especially ineffectual as he's kind of sent for, couldn't come. Father doesn't want to be that guy. Being present and essential, the absent father just isn't a thing. So when does he show up? When he says he's going to. It isn't a difficult concept, but some people have problems with it. If he doesn't do that, then he does what some people call send a message. Sending a message that he thinks his work or his game or his oil change is more important than the child, and that his word is not worth much. So where does he show up? On the side of the child and a little behind. It isn't a competition, so he needs to be on the same side of the field. He needs to be there with his child, not against him. And he needs to be there in a supporting role. The father isn't leading the child through childhood. He's pointing the way. He's letting the child develop on their own. He's a father, not a trailblazer, and certainly not a helicopter or a bulldozer. He prepares the child for the road, not the road for the child. What does he bring with him? He brings what is needed. This can require some perception. What's needed might be obvious, like food or rent money, or it might be a mystery that the father has to unravel. What is it that this child really needs? Little Richie Starkey grew up poor and afflicted with terrible illnesses and no good path toward ever being able to earn his own living. But his stepfather thought about it, and he traveled from Liverpool to London to buy a second-hand drum set to bring home to the unfortunate Richie, whom we, in a few years, came to know and love as Ringo Starr. What does the father do once he's there, on time, in position, and with provisions? He teaches something. It almost doesn't matter what. Throw a ball, read a book, crack an egg, use a power saw, drive a car, sing a song. Well, not in my case, but other people. It matters that he shows care, shows his love through the act of teaching. It is essential for the child to feel competent, to know they are competent, and that begins with the child learning they can learn and learn many things. The father also teaches the child how to behave. I personally think the most effective way to do this is to model good behavior rather than to lecture about it. If you lecture about it, you can be certain the child's going to spot ways when you didn't live up to the things that you said that the child should do, and that gets you in trouble. We learn how to act by patterning our parents' actions. It works for ducks, and it works for people. On occasion, the lecture can be helpful. My father used to instruct us children at the dinner table that consideration for other people is the most important thing, and don't forget that. I did not like being lectured to one bit, especially repetitively with the same line. But I have to say that did sink in with me, and I never saw my father be inconsiderate toward anyone. Our friend Peter, who is now unfortunately deceased, told me what his father told him before he went off to college. Peter's father was a silent man. He was a former professional boxer from Georgia, and according to Peter, he could go a week without saying more than a couple of sentences. So when his father said, "I've got something to say to you," Peter naturally got very interested. His father says, "I want you to remember three things. First, never hit a woman. Second, if you're going to buy something, make sure you got the money to pay for it. And third, never eat boiled peanuts in the dark. You could get a rotten one." Y'all remember that? Sometimes a father's random remark can remain forever powerful. You may know this, the #1 best-selling digital song track of the 20th century, Don't Stop Believin', written by Jonathan Cain for Journey in 1981. And years before, Jonathan had been a struggling musician in Los Angeles, unable to pay his rent, unable to pay the $900 vet bill for his injured dog. And he called his father back in Chicago and said, "Dad, I either got to have a loan or I got to come home." Father said, "I'll give you a loan. You stay out there. Don't stop believing." And years later, Jonathan discovered this in his little spiral-bound notebook and wrote the song. And I'll bet he was able to pay back the loan. So are we starting to get a definition here of father? I think so. But I think it also sounds a little bit like a canine obedience class. So let's add in unconditional love. That still sounds a little like a canine obedience class, but that's not a bad thing. And it must be included. All that showing up and teaching stuff is wonderful and it's very helpful, but you don't get defined in the Father without unconditional love. The Father loves his children's failings and imperfections, not because they are failings and imperfections, but because they are his children's. He may not actually like some of the things about his children, but he loves them anyway. And finally, we need some humor. To paraphrase a famous saying, Father plans, God laughs. Father better laugh too. His plans aren't all going to work out, and the way he responds when they don't work out says more about him than the way he responds when they do. If he cannot laugh, then the love mentioned above can get conditioned, and you don't want that. The imperfect father had better keep that sense of humor. It's going to be tested over and over again, so he better work on improving it. All right, let's say our definition is kind of finished in its rough form, and let's look at it. It doesn't say anything about blood relationships or about legal relationships. A lot of fathers do very well indeed without these things. They show up on time, they take care of the child, they teach, they love, and they keep a sense of humor. They do whatever they need to do to help the young person reach the full measure of their potential. And finally, where does the definition go from here? Once you fit the definition, it fits in you. You assume the role, and it assumes you. And it doesn't stop growing, and it doesn't permit you to stop growing. You learn more about those imperfections. I think the smartest people are often the 10-year-olds before their brilliance is clouded by social obsessions or totally wiped out by hormones. When Calloway was about 10, Blair decided that year that all the children's socks would live in the bottom drawer of her dresser. We weren't putting them away anymore. If a child needed a sock or 2 socks, he or she could come in and get it out of the dresser. One morning, I'd come out of the shower and was standing at my dresser looking for my own socks and underwear. And Calloway came bursting into the room and went, "Ooh." And I said, "What do you mean, ooh?" And he said, "Dad, the ancient Greeks might have thought the human body was beautiful, but they weren't looking at you." Oh. You want humility? Become a father. People will say, it'll get you out of your comfort zone, like that's a good thing. Other things can get you out of your comfort zone. Food riots, plagues, customer service bots. Comfort zones have a lot to commend them. They're comfortable. The low-stress environment can lead to creative thinking, spiritual development, all kind of good things. You can meditate in a comfort zone. But at a certain point, if you stay in it, you do limit your growth potential. We all need challenges to make us grow, and with fatherhood, the challenges come baked in. We have a poster in my office that says, "In achieving excellence, it is not always possible to be comfortable." The reverse is also true. Most fathers want to excel. They are first impelled by that primal insecurity about their capabilities. And then, caught in the miracle of recreation, they become absolutely, wondrously captivated by the beautiful, immense bundle of life force energy that their child is. So, of course, as the child is stretching toward his potential, the father is too, and that changes him, usually for the better. He moves a bit farther along the continuum from selfish to selfless. He finds untapped reservoirs of patience, unknown strength and determination, hidden sources of empathy. He sees nature through new lenses. He hears voices through young ears. He feels joy and pain without adult blinders and bandages. He sees the humor in a whole family of imperfections. He gives the lead to those who follow. He rests, when he does, some on his own laurels, but more and more on the laurels of his children. And when he rests and thinks about being a father, he finds that while he has somehow transcended his potential, he has also received more than he has given. He has given his children his blessings, and they have become his blessings. More interesting and beautiful and inspiring and uplifting than he imagined possible. Blessings from beyond the shores of wonder, from their hearts to his heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barry. That was very awesome. Let us now prepare for meditation.